Ein Datum von weltgeschichtlicher Bedeutung. Unter dem Druck Moskaus.
The Holocaust, a dark chapter in world history, witnessed the systematic persecution and extermination of millions of Jews and other marginalized groups by Nazi Germany during World War II. While the Philippines was geographically distant from Europe, it played a unique and significant role in responding to the plight of Jewish refugees fleeing Nazi oppression. This act of compassion and courage highlight the country's humanitarian spirit during a global crisis. Under the leadership of President Manuel L. Quezon, the Philippines opened its door to Jewish refugees during the 1930s. At a time when many nations were reluctant to accept them, Quezon, along with U.S. High Commissioner Paul McNutt, worked together to develop a plan to provide sanctuary for Jews fleeing Nazi persecution. The open door policy of the Philippine government resulted in the resettlement of approximately 1,200 Jewish refugees in Manila, despite the nation's limited resources and ongoing political challenges. From 1937 to 1941, about 1,200 European Jews found refuge from the Holocaust in the Philippines. Their migration was a part of an effort by President Manuel Quezon and the Jewish American Feeder family and an American official, Paul McNutt.
I was only 8 years old when we arrived in Manila. We did not know what lay ahead, escaping one war only to end up in the midst of another.
The European Jews escaped the throes of the Nazis only to face another bloody war under Japanese occupation. Manila burned following the bombing by the Japanese forces on February 27, 1945.
We were going from frying pan to the fire. We went from Nazi persecutors to the Japanese.
The Battle of Manila was one of the bloodiest on the Pacific Front. The city lay in ruins, and yet the Jewish refugees struggled to survive under a new threat. What ironically protected the Jews was their German password with the swastikas. They were viewed as allies by the Japanese forces.
My father was imprisoned in a concentration camp, and my mother and I fled in Germany. In Manila, we were treated with some degree of protection because of our German nationality, even as Filipinos were being oppressed.
The Philippine capital was liberated after a grueling month-long campaign in the Battle of Manila. It was one of the bloodiest battles of World War II.
The war was devastating, but we survived. I don't think we would have survived if we had not come to the Philippines. We would have been destroyed in the crematorium.
In 2009, this remarkable act of kindness was officially recognized when the Jewish community honored the Philippines at the Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington. This recognition brought attention to the humanitarian efforts of the Filipinos during World War II. The Philippine government's willingness to provide sanctuary to Jewish refugees was not only an act of kindness but a testament to its commitment to human rights. Despite its limited resources and its own political challenges, the Philippines stood as a beacon of hope for the Jews.
During the onset of World War II in Europe, Germany began carrying out what is known as the Holocaust. The Jews fled their country to avoid or escape this event. The Philippines, under the leadership of President Manuel L. Quezon, was one of the countries that welcomed the Jews who were escaping Europe at the time. As a country with a population that is more than half Christian and one that advocates for human rights, the Philippines welcomed the Jews who fled from the German occupation, offering their refuge in the time of crisis. Since the World War II had already started, the Philippines faced criticism from the German allies for its action. Additionally, Japan, which was expanding its empire, increasingly set its sights on the Philippines.
Today, the story of the Philippines and the Holocaust serves as an inspiration and a call to action. It reminds us of the importance of standing up against hatred and discrimination, regardless of the circumstances. The courage shown by the Philippine government and its people is a legacy that continues to resonate in the ongoing fight for justice and human dignity worldwide.